from our first training. Can you raise your hand if you were here for discretionary? Great, thanks for coming back. So in our first presentation, our first training, we talked just specifically about the way that city council funds get awarded and processed into contracts. So today what we're going to be talking about is the broader, all kind of city contracts that might be of interest to nonprofits. And that includes not just city council contracts, but also contracts, and this is a much larger universe, contracts that are awarded through competitive mechanisms. So through requests for proposals, or there's a number of other methods that we're going to talk about today. And so this is really mostly health and human services. There are some definitely education, definitely workforce development. And I just want to say that, in the arts, there's a little bit of a mixed methodology for how the city does business with arts organizations, because in some senses you're providing direct services maybe to seniors or to children, and in those cases you might work with agencies like the Department for Youth and Community Development or the Department for the Aging, and in those cases they use a contract mechanism. But if you're working directly with the Department for Cultural Affairs, they award grants, and so that's not a process we're necessarily going to talk about in detail today, so I just want to call that to your attention, that we're really talking about our human service agencies today. So with that being said, we have a lot to talk about, but we want to give you a good grounding in how the city does business. And this applies to nonprofits and for-profits alike. So you're going to get a lot of information about how the process works, what our expectations are, and what are some of the things that you need to have kind of in your house, having your house in order to be successful in contracting with the city and in that partnership. And then at the end, we'll talk about some of the resources that are available to you, to help you get there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Elisa Velazquez.
The Mayor's Office of Contract Services is the oversight agency in the mayoralty that works with all of the other city agencies to ensure that they are following the rules, state rules and city rules when it comes to procuring goods and services. We also provide technical assistance to the agencies, so we help them with their writing their solicitations, or help them, work through the process of getting a solicitation, getting it in, scoring it, evaluating it, and then getting it ready to go to the controller for registration. And in order for anybody to get paid from the city, a contract needs to be registered with the controller, with the city controller's office. Look at it like when you were in grammar school and they would talk about the separation of powers, and there being checks and balances. The controller's office actually operates kind of as a check. So we have to give our contracts to them, and they register it in order for the spigot to get turned on and our contractors to get paid. So we make sure that the agencies, when they present something to the controller, are doing everything that they need to do, and they aren't challenged by the controller or anybody else. The office also, we have a bunch of contract analysts that work with the agencies. Jenny's unit in particular works with non-for-profits and also works with the city council to pre-clear or pre-qualify those vendors that want to receive discretionary funds from the city council. We have a vendor responsibility and compliance unit that helps the agencies work through vendor responsibility issues, which we'll talk a little bit about today. We have a prevailing wage unit. We have the doing business unit. So all the different kind of oversight aspects we deal with in our office. One important thing, we do not have oversight over the Department of Education. I know that there are a lot of perhaps opportunities for people in this room, or there could be opportunities for people in this room with DOE. We don't have oversight over DOE. While the state legislature, in their infinite wisdom, gave the mayor control over the schools, they did not give the mayor control over their procurement rules. So they follow state procurement rules, and they are not supervised or overseen by us. So, maybe for some future presentation, you can get some people in here from DOE, and they can talk to you about how they do business, or even cultural affairs, like you were saying. So anyway, so that's what we do. And let's talk a little bit, just so you guys get an idea of what our procurement system looks like. And again,